to new video. In this video, let us see how to write a small C program in Keel Microvision 3. So before that, so in the last 3 videos, I explained you how to download the software, how to install the software, and how to create a project in that software. So in this video, I'm going to explain you how to write a small C program. Okay, so let us see that. So double click on the icon Keel Microvision 5, which is available in your desktop. Then the software opens. Okay, so wait until the software gets opened. Then you select your project, whatever the project you want, you can open it. So I would like to select my project Hanu 7. It's already there, available on the left side in the project workspace. You can see that here. So it's already there. So I don't want to open it again. But if it is not available, so you try to open your project Hanu 7 or whatever the project you have created. So in this, let me remove this 2.c because it is already added earlier. So I have removed the 2.c, and even I am removing this program. The text editor is also removed here. So I want to write a new program. So in order to write a new program, as I told you that we need a text editor. So text editor is available in file new. Okay, so if you open this text editor and type your file here, I mean type your program here, then there are options for you to save this. So if you save this file as save as, or simply save as 1.c, if you save it as 1.c, it will become a C language program. If you save it at 1.src, it will become a assembly level language program. Also it will become assembly level language if you save it as 1.asm. Okay, so remember the extensions. One is 1.c, other one is 1.asm, and then the next one is 1.src. So these two are assembly language programs, assembly level language. Okay, and this is a, you already know, this is a C language program. Okay, so this is too early to tell what type of program we are going to write. So either C language or embedded C language, which I will introduce you later. So remember that we will be using only the softwares, this C language itself. So this we won't prefer. And this I already told you while creating the project, like if you want to work with assembly level language programs, then you need to add .src, that is the file which is required for assembly language programs. So I am going with only 1.c. So let me open the file which is already written as 1.c, or otherwise let me create one more file. So but let me change the file name. Instead of 1.c, I have already here, there are some programs with the name 1.c. okay, so let me change the name. So what I want to tell you here is, before writing the program, you save it. So what is the advantage of saving the file? So that I will explain you while typing the program. So if you save the file, it will help you in explaining something, like if there is any error or something in your program. Okay, so let me save e1.c. okay, so E in the sense English video. So I am creating same videos in some other language. So E in the sense English 1.c, save. Okay, so here in order to write a program, so you should know what are the prerequisites. If you want to write a C language program, you should know at least that it should have a main method, and it should include a library. So let me write that main method first. Main, see the colors are coming. So as soon as I write main, immediately you have to open and close this. So this is the main method I have created. Okay, and this requires an header file also. So hash include, here we don't want stdio.h, hash include, we have a header file called reg51.h. okay, this is the header file related to registers of 8051. So all the registers of 8051 are defined in this header file, and it is being saved. Okay, then we have this main method. In the main method you have to write your program, something like this. So for example, I want to write p1 is equal to 0x00. So you should get a doubt, what is p1 here? Then you may think that p1 might be any other variable like I, j, k, something like that, which we will use in our program. So p1 here, it is a register, or it is a parallel port of 8051, which is defined already in the register 51.h, reg51.h. So I am using it directly here instead of defining it. And this number 0x indicates this 00 is a hexadecimal number, 00 is a hexadecimal number, or 01 is a hexadecimal number, or 02 is a hexadecimal number. So it can go up to maximum how much? FF. So this is the maximum range of a 8-bit number. So this is a 8-bit number. So okay, this is not a case sensitive again. Okay, you can use either small or capital F. So after giving this p1 is equal to 0xff, so let me again take a small p1 is equal to 0x. You observe here I am doing intentionally some mistakes. So 0x 00. Okay, so close it. Now after typing, this is how I am done with my program. So finally save it again, and then after saving this, go to this menu called project menu, and then there is an option to compile this program. It is build target. Okay, so F7 is the shortcut for that. You can either click F7 directly in your keyboard, or this is the option which is available above the project workspace. So build target. So this will build the target. Okay, so after the target is being built, you will get the errors here. So I already clicked the build target, but I am not getting. Target has no modules, target not created, build time elapsed. It is telling these things. Okay, so what is the problem here is, of course I wrote a program, but that program need to be added into the source group. So right click on the source group, add files to the source group. There is an option called add files to the source group. Okay, or otherwise double click on the source group. You will be getting the your file. What is our file? e1.c. This is the file e1.c. Add it. Click add only once. If you add it again, it will show you some error. So it won't even add anything because it's already added. Okay, so right click or double click on the source group, select your file, and then add it. Close, then close. Now you go to the same option, build target. Now this time it started building the target, but it is telling that it is starting compiling, and it don't know what is p1. P1 is a undefined identifier. It is telling that I don't know what is small p1, but it identified what is capital P1. Okay, so let me change this to capital P1 again. So this tells whatever the case, whether it is small or capital, which is there in the registers reg51.h, that only we have to use. All the registers of 8051 are kept in capital letter only. They are defined in capital letter only. So write down the same thing here. So P1 is equal to 0xFF, P1 is equal to 0x00. So capital P's are mandatory. This is the one thing you have to learn. Then if I compile it again, still I am getting the error. 0x00 undefined identifier. Okay, so it tells that this 0, there is a something error here, 0, this is not a 0, it is O. So I wrote O there, so make it 0. Now the color got changed. Can you observe that? Earlier it was something else. Okay, if I write O here, it is not in this color, so it is in different color. Okay, so like this, if you save the file early before compiling the project, then you are going to get this advantage. So it will tell you with the colors itself. Now if you run it, okay, so it is telling that there is a warning. Okay, so still there is a warning, but still you can run the program. It is telling that missing return values. Okay, so you can run it. There is no issue with one warning. That too, it is about returning something. So P1 is equal to small ff, and then P1 is equal to some small 00. So let me use only small zeros, and then let us proceed with next step, that is after we got 0 errors and 0 warnings. Here I didn't get any warning, it is telling return value is missing, so it is telling that I have to use void main. If I write void main, it will get 00. Sometimes it will ask like that. It is not mandatory to write void, so there is nothing we need to be returned, but it is asking, so I kept it here. So I got 0 errors, 0 warnings. So until you get 0 errors and 0 warnings, what you are supposed to do is check it again and again what is going wrong in your program. Okay, so once if you get 0 errors, 0 warnings, then what is your job is just go to the debug menu. There is an option called start debug session. Also the same is the option to stop the debug session. For starting and for stopping, we have same this option, debug session, start or stop debug session. Okay, so click on the start debug session. It will be telling we are using evaluation mode. It's running with code size limit of 2k. So this is not a problem for us. We won't write code which is more than 2k. So click OK, and as soon as you click OK, you observe something is happening here. I will tell you about this in the upcoming videos later. What is happening here on the screen in the debugging mode. And if you observe here, there is a yellow color line here. There is a yellow color pointer and there is a yellow color pointer which is pointing to the address of the next instruction. Okay, so this is the address, this is the instruction which CPU has to process now. So P1 is equal to FF, P1 is equal to 00, and what you have to do is, where you have to check the output is, you have to go to the peripherals, you have to go to IO ports, and then you have to select any one of the 4 ports. So the target device 8089S51, that IC whatever we have selected, it is having 4 ports, same like our 8051. So out of 4 ports, the 4 ports, each port is having, totally there are 4 ports, and then each port will have 8 pins. Okay, so 8 pins into 4 will give us 32 input output. Okay, so 32 input outputs are available for us, and they are arranged as port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. So we can program, because they are input output, we can program them, and we will see what is P0, P1, P2, P3 exactly For that you can watch one of my videos in another playlist, 8051 A to Z. There you will get what is P0 pins, P1, P2, P3. Okay. So just now we have selected this particular port, right? So this particular port, but I told you just now each port is having 8 pins. So P1 is also having 8 pins. So they are P1.0, P1.1, P1.2, P1.3. This is the lower byte, and then similarly P1.4, P1.5, P1.6, and then P1.7. So totally there are 1, 2, 3, 4 lower byte, 1, 2, 3, 4 higher byte. Okay. So this is of byte size. That's why we are giving 1 byte number. We are assigning 1 byte number to that one. So the minimum value 00 and maximum value FF we have assigned. Okay. So let us see where we have to check the output is. Go to the peripherals, go to the IO ports. As I told just now, there are 4 ports. Open port 1. So this is the port 1. These are the pins 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to 7, like whatever I said just now. Okay. So out of all these ports, so what you are supposed to do here is just check P1 is equal to 0xFF is the first instruction. After clicking the run button, what is happening in this P1? So how can you do that run? So go to peripherals, go to debug again, and then there is a options called step run, step over, run to cursor line, and run. There are 4 options are there. One is step, step over, run to cursor line, then run. This out of 4, for a small program like this we prefer step run. Okay. For a program which is having loop, we will use run, and wherever you want to come out of the loop, we will use step over. Okay. And wherever in the very big program you want to run up to that cursor line, you can put the cursor there and you can use run to cursor line. So these are the different options available, and maximum we will be working with this continuous run only. Okay, not even step. For a program which is very small like this, we will use step, otherwise we will use run. And these options will automatically get highlighted above the project workspace, like what you have seen F7 earlier, build target. So this is run and this is step run. So because we have only 2 lines, so let me click on the step, and as soon as I click on this step, you observe in these 2 windows something will happen. Okay, and in this register, in this port also the changes will appear. Okay, so did you observe that? So instead of yellow color line pointing here, it went here. Instead of yellow color marker which is pointer which is there here, it went to the next instruction, and P1 became FF. Initially it was FF, so we could not see the transition. So now you can see that. Okay, now it went to the next statement. There is nothing. Okay, return. And here also it is going to the, this is in the parenthesis, this will tell that we have to go back again, return. So we got 00, FF 00. So if you click it, then you will get FF 00 continuously. But if you go for a continuous run, it is not possible, because there is no loop in the program. It will halt automatically once reaching to this last value 00. Okay. So this is how you have to work with the program. And once if you get the output, what is your primary job is to come out of the debug mode, stop debug session, come out of the debug mode, and whatever the changes you want to do to the program, you do that only here in the in a normal mode, without entering into the debug mode. Okay, so make sure that always there is a project workspace beside you while typing the program. And then once if you get 0 error 0 warnings, go to the debug, then start debug session, then it will take you to the debug session, and this port one will automatically open if you have used it recently, and then click on the step run or continuous run, whatever it is. Then what is the next step? You have to come out of the debug mode. Okay, so debug, stop debug session, like this. So this is how we will be working with the program, C language program, which is I told you, of course, a very small program, but I hope this is informative, how to write the program, how to compile it, and how to what you can say, debug it, and how to check the output by simulating it. Okay, so many steps are there. You observe: writing the program in text editor, compiling with the help of C51 compiler, okay, and then of course we are also doing some inbuilt assembling also, A51, and then C51 compilation. Then we are giving it to debugger. Okay, so after debugging the program, we are giving it to simulation. We are simulating the output of 8051. Okay, so that is about this today's video. I mean this video, not today. So if you have any doubt, you feel free to put it in the comment section below, and then you can watch the other videos. I will keep it in the description, and you also watch my other playlist where you can find information related to 8051. There are two playlists, 8051 A to Z and 8051 programming. So thank you for watching.